Hi, this is Dave Smith from No Kill, Colorado. I'm here with Aubrie Kavanaugh from No Kill, Huntsville. Alan Rosenberg from New Jersey Animal Observer. You're watching No Kill in Motion. Today, we're just going to talk about a couple of weeks ago, we talked about no kill books or books that are really good for animal welfare. And then we thought, why don't we talk about some movies? Movies that we like. There are some out there. And I think we all have our favorites, and maybe we'll get some surprises here today. Let's see what happens. So, no kill movies and video recommendations. Alan, what what are some of the things that you really enjoyed or inspired you?
Well, I think the obvious one we all are going to agree with is Redemption, the film companion to the book from Nathan Winograd. Uh, Obviously, that is the story of No Kill. So that's really kind of a no-brainer. Another one that our friend Mike Fry put together on Lake County Animal Shelter, his Boots on the Ground series down there from a couple years ago. To me, that was personally very important because it woke me up to a great story that was going down there, and I think it's a story that everyone needs to hear about. And they've continued to improve since then. They're really one of the best shelters in the country. And also in that movie, there was a lot. It told a personal story of how it impacted people from an emotional perspective, both young, middle-aged, and older people. And it really was a great movie. It's about 20, 25 minutes long, and I'd highly recommend anyone watch that. The final one is a little bit different, not really sheltering related, but it's a PBS wildlife documentary called Meet the Coywolf, which is a documentary about the eastern coyote. Coyotes, as people may know, are effectively, even though they're separate species, they're effectively the same animal as dogs. They can interbreed and produce fertile offspring with dogs. And the interesting thing about this movie is these animals are all around us. We don't even know it. They're so close to us. And they're such great neighbors. They're such great neighbors that they're living on top of us, and we're not even aware they are, and they're not causing problems. So the reason I think that movie's important is because when there's inevitably calls of people complaining, oh, these animals are going to be a threat to my children or my dog or whatever, usually those concerns are completely overblown, or in fact, most of the time, completely false. So I really recommend people watch that movie because it has practical considerations and impacts on everyone or most people in the country.
All right, Aubrey, what are your recommendations?
Well, obviously Redemption, which we all agree on, the no-kill revolution in America, which is available to view for free, by the way. And when we post the link for this, I'll include the link so you can watch it. I mean, I have DVDs that I bought over the years and I've given out, but you can watch it for free. It doesn't cost anything. Going slightly, just because it's a different platform, I also want to say that the No Kill Advocacy Center has a YouTube channel. And last year, they put out a couple of shorter videos that are really helpful. One is called No Kill 101, and another one is called The Myth of Pet Overpopulation. And this is really drilling down on what no kill means and what the no kill movement is about, and about the philosophies and about how it relates to our society and what people want and expect. So, and I think each of those runs maybe about 20 minutes. So those are great. So the YouTube channel for the No Kill Advocacy Center, you can find those both. I agree with Alan's recommendation for the Lake County story, Boots on the Ground. Mike Fry of No Kill Learning did do two other short films in the Boots on the Ground series. One was the one for Huntsville. Of course, I'm part of that. So I have a personal interest in that, in telling our story. And then the other one that he just finished recently was the Twin Cities story. And I believe that that was the last in his series he was going to do. Again, like Alan, going slightly off topic. I mean, I have a couple more. I have one that's called Dog by Dog, and it was executive produced by a contact of mine named Chris Soul, who is in the finance industry in Chicago. And this movie is all about the commercial dog breeding industry, and it has to do with the politics of it and the financial aspects of it, essentially in a follow the money kind of way. And it's got a lot of notable speakers that we all know about. I mean, Dick Durbin is in it. It's got content from contacts of mine across the country. that are working related to the commercial dog breeding industry. And the reason that this is important related to what we do as no-kill advocates is, as long as the commercial dog breeding industry is pumping out millions of dogs a year and people continue to pay for that, some of whom end up getting sick from those animals, it's going to affect the way our tax-funded shelters operate. So I think if you really want a good glimpse of what's going on inside the commercial dog breeding industry, and it's not all focused on the conditions in which the dogs live, which are horrific, obviously, but it talks about the politics behind this and what keeps this industry alive. And then the last one I was going to recommend, keeping in mind that Denver has changed the pit bull ban. It's not necessarily a ban now, there are just new laws. There's one from years ago called Beyond the Myth. And it has to do with
my favorite movie.
Legislation. And even though it focuses on Denver, it's still a good look at this topic just generally, because there are a lot of places in the country that still have BSL, that haven't become enlightened to the fact that not only are their laws unconstitutional, but they don't make anybody any safer. So Beyond the Myth, definite recommendation.
That's great. Yeah, so I'm not going to repeat any of yours because all of them were on my list, except for the Dog by Dog. I'm going to have to check that one out. I did not see
Excellent
it.
film.
I did notice when I was looking and thinking about this, I actually found something really old, actually, and it was great to watch. It's really short. No-kill documentary, Austin, Texas story. I forgot about it. I'd seen it years ago. It's like a 3 or 4 minute film, but you see Larry Tucker in there, Ryan Clinton, Ellen Jefferson, talking about Austin and how it happens. So I recommend it. That's like 3.5 minutes. So if you want to,
is that something where we can share a link with people? Because I'm sure I've not seen that. Do you have a link?
I'll get you the link so we can put it out there. And then I'm going a little off into some others that I thought about because I think they're cool. Just one, which is Blackfish. It's about orcas, but it was a great film. It had a lot of impact, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that still haven't seen it. Wonderful book about, what we're actually doing to orcas by keeping them in captivity. It did actually help change the world for them, which is great, but it relates to a lot of other things. And the other one I was thinking of, which is funny because I have no kids, I was thinking about 2 kids films because I love them. I actually read the books when I was younger, but I think they're a great introduction to kids to understand compassion in animals. And that's Charlotte's Web and Watership Down. I think these are 2 great videos to watch, especially, you're not going to give your kid redemption to look at. Maybe necessarily it may not be as exciting and compelling, but stories like Charlotte's Web and Watership Down, and true, there's a lot more, but those 2 are kind of, I think everything kind of came out of those later on. You see a lot of those stories over and over again. And the last one is Kit Bull. I almost forgot the name because I didn't write it down. Kit Bull was an independent film that was made. It's available out there if you just look it up. It's free. It's another one. A lot of these relate back to pit bulls because they are the story of no kill, strangely enough, even though we don't have to actually point them out because we think of all homeless pets equally. But Kit Bull is a beautiful story and another one that's good for both kids and adults, actually. So that's all I have.
That made me think of one more, since you were talking about children's films, David. And I remember that Nathan Winograd wrote about this a while ago. It's called Hotel for Dogs. And it has to do with dogs that are loose and need help. And of course, it's got the obligatory dog catcher in the terrible shelter where the animals go ostensibly to die. But it's this hotel, this old rundown hotel, that somehow a number of children end up saving a bunch of animals there. And it turns into a new business model ultimately, and I don't want to spoil the film, but where it ends up becoming a hotel for dogs. And that's very family friendly. And of course, it's a good way to introduce children to the subject of, where you can have a conversation after the fact. What is an animal shelter? And what happens at some of those places? And if the dog is part of our family and our home, why can that dog not go to a hotel with us? Because some places they can go to a hotel. So that's another great children's film.
All right, well, this has been great. There's some video recommendations for you if you want to learn more about no kill in general or just compassionate films about animals. I think they're great to have, even if they're not related directly to us. If it ultimately is compassion, I think it is no kill. So it works for me. Well, thanks everybody for being here. I'm here with Aubrie Kavanaugh from No Kill Huntsville, Alan Rosenberg from New Jersey Animal Observer. I'm David Smith from No Kill Colorado. This has been No Kill in Motion. We'll see you next time.